Back in the year 1990, there was a global collaboration between various scientists looking at the arrangement of the nucleotides that make up our DNA and therefore the sequence of the DNA. It was a milestone and it was an amazing project that was very, very successful in mapping the sequence of the human DNA. However, much to our disappointment, African populations were not well represented in that project. It became very clear that African populations would not benefit with getting the accurate diagnosis of various diseases because the database with which we were comparing the data was simply not sufficient, well covered for African populations. And so the diagnosis often was missed. And that has also downstream effects if we look at the medical sciences, because if you don't know proper diagnosis of genetic diseases, then you will not know how best to treat it.
We saw the need of having a body in the country that will coordinate and sensitize human genetics field and related activities in the country. And so in 2019, the society was formally launched and registered in 2021. So the vision of the organization is to see zero mortality and morbidity rate in the people of Tanzania through the utilization of human genetics knowledge. Our mission is to coordinate human genetics research, related services and activities in the country, and coordinating such activities in the community to make sure that we generate knowledge that can be used for recommendation and prevention of disease and the improvement of health in the people of Tanzania. We have identified 4 main areas that we think we need to work on in order to achieve the vision and the mission of our society.
Looking at the background, the genetic background can tell us whether a particular treatment makes sense, whether even a particular diagnostic marker makes sense for our populations, or we should find another marker for as a diagnostic indicator in our populations. But also whether particular treatments is likely to give us more side effects compared to other populations. And this has been seen. We have the story of a particular anti-HIV drug that was used in Zimbabwe, where a significant portion of those who received the drug experienced severe side effects, only to find that particular genetic variations that predispose them to those side effects. Similarly, we have diseases that affect some populations more than others in severity because also of these polymorphisms, and not just non-communicable diseases, but also infectious diseases. There are some that affect others more than other populations.
We look forward to working with more patient advocacy groups, including the Epilepsy Foundation of Tanzania, including the Lupus Warriors, Malcolm Foundation, and other similar patient advocacy groups. Apart from organizing events like the Rare Diseases Day, we also focus on creating awareness in the society, trying to end the stigma that comes associated with rare diseases, for example, because many people don't understand rare diseases. They can be like any other disease, so they're associated to witchcraft or bad luck attributed to a person. So this makes it very difficult for people suffering from the diseases, but also their caretakers. So we try to create awareness in society that this is a disease like any other, and they need to seek treatment and management through social media, through mass media. We also write articles, both scientific articles, but also blog articles that an average person can read and understand.
This is a very important aspect, since we need to really bring on board everybody, all the key stakeholders in the community at large, in understanding what genetics is really about. Because if you look at it, genetics is not only the science part, but really it brings about all other fields like the ethics of genetics, etc., etc. So we think that it is important to train different stakeholders in understanding what genetics is really about, treating people like the healthy professionals we talk about, doctors, the pharmacists, the medical health scientists, the nurses, but not only health professionals, but we could also treat the other key stakeholders those of the social sciences, the lawyers, anybody who is indirectly involved in genetics, so that the whole circle is brought together in understanding what genetics is really about.
So we will be establishing well-functioning laboratory with adequate infrastructure for research and for storage, archiving, and biorepository of samples. We will be establishing high-quality computing facilities to be able to analyze and present the data we'll be generating in the lab. In the human aspect, we are initiating big projects and programs to train local researchers so that they are able to do high-quality research, analyze and present the data.